right, here's our question for the day. I have a listing that backs up to a busy road. Should I disclose this in my marketing or maybe pre-screen buyers to make sure they know ahead of time? My sellers are getting tired of all the showing feedback that it's too busy, and frankly, so am I. I love this question. This is a great question. All right, what we have here is a fatally flawed property. What a fatally flawed property is a house or home that has a flaw, that has a problem that's not fixable. Sure, there are lots of problems that a home might have, but a fatal flaw is one that cannot be fixed no matter how much money you have. So this example of we have a property that backs up to a busy road, you're not going to change the location of the house. So that qualifies as a fatal flaw. Other examples of fatal flaws might be a home that's underneath high tension power lines, maybe a home that has a super steep driveway, or a home that sits on a bus route. So there's a bus bench right outside the front door. All of these are characteristics of a home that probably no buyer would prefer. The only way to deal with a fatal flaw is by price. So your property has to be priced right in order to get people to overlook the flaw and considering purchasing the house. Okay, so let's say you have a fatally flawed property and you have it priced great. What does that mean? Well, you're probably going to get a lot of people looking at the house, a lot of interest in the house because it looks to be a great house on paper. So should you disclose the flaw in your marketing? Absolutely. I believe you should. What do you mean by that, Jennifer? Why would you say to do that? Isn't that going to reduce the number of showings? Yes, it is absolutely going to reduce the number of showings, and that's a good thing. Right? Here's the thing. When a buyer goes into a home and they're disappointed by what they see there, by what they find, even if what they're disappointed by isn't something that's a big deal to them, they're going to not like the house as much as they would have otherwise. So let me give you another example. Let's say that the home is advertised as having a garage. And when you go out in the backyard, there's just a big old kind of rickety shed that they're calling a garage in that backyard. Now, even if the buyer doesn't care all that much about whether or not the house has a garage, they're expecting to see a garage, and then there's just a big old rickety shed, they're going to be disappointed, and disappointed buyers do not fall in love with houses. Okay, so how do you disclose to your audience, to the buyer's agents? How do you disclose to them that the property has a flaw without chasing everybody off in the other direction? So let's use the example of the house that backs up to the busy road. First, if it makes sense to include a picture, go ahead and do that, although that might be a little bit difficult to do a picture of a house that sits next to a busy road. I would put something in the comments that says perhaps something like, price reflects location at a busy intersection. Or if being on a busy street is a problem, you might just want to pass this on one. You might want to pass this one on by. But if you're looking for a nicer home than your budget allows, check it out. Because here's the thing. If you price the home properly for the fatal flaw, and that's not going to be $5,000, that's probably going to be more like $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000. If that home is priced properly, though, for that fatal flaw, you're going to get people looking at the house who couldn't afford it if it didn't have the flaw. So they may be very willing to overlook it. But still, you don't want to be over-promising and under-delivering for these buyers. Again, if they walk in the door or they even drive by the home and they see that busy road behind them or the high-tension power lines overhead, they're going to be disappointed and they're not going to fall in love. But if you're honest in your marketing, if you are upfront in your marketing about it, and the people who do decide to go ahead and look at the home know what to expect, you're going to have a lot higher quality of showings. Your feedback is not going to be so negative. And you know what? You will have renewed energy marketing this home when you're not dreading showings, because you know what the feedback's going to be. It's going to be negative. But when every time someone shows the home and you know they were already aware of the issue, you're going to feel a lot better about marketing this home, and you're going to bring that energy back into the listing.